Hello, welcome to this Devtoberfest session with me, Mr. Bluebeard, Josh Bentley, as if you didn't know that, and my colleague, Ann Petero. Hey, Ann, how you doing?
Hello, good morning.
Love that hello. It's my favorite hello in the world. So, thanks for joining us so much. It is Friday, October 3rd, and this is the first week of Devtoberfest, right? It started on the
hmm
29th. Man, time's
Yes,
flying.
yes.
So week one of Devtoberfest is done. We've had Pettoberfest stuff happening. We've had lots of great technical sessions. You can go back and watch them at any time you want. I think everybody knows this by now. And then you get the game board, right? Everybody has a shirt like this, don't they? So I wore this.
Scavenger hunt.
Yes, the
Don't forget
scavenger
the
hunt's
scavenger
happening.
hunt. hmm
Um, there's so much work that goes into Devtoberfest ahead of time, but really, I always like to bring it back to the community members. It's about you guys. It's about everybody participating, gamified, right? You're trying to earn points. You're doing the scavenger hunt. You're doing different fun activities. You're doing the validation questions for tutorials, but it's also about your community and the content we're delivering mattering to you. And to that end, sometimes it's hard to find what you need. And we've been working hard. As you may or may not know, I've been a developer advocate for like 7 years, and then I just transferred over to our sister team, and that is the community advocates. And so, in being the head of the community team is eye-opening to me just how much great stuff we have out there that I didn't even look at because it wasn't relevant to my job. So, what is relevant to me is every one of you. And what we're going to do today is something that I think is amazing because we have someone who knows every little button and lever to pull in the community and where to find the pages. And we know things need to be improved from time to time. And this is one of the amazing people that helps make those improvements go live. So I will now stop babbling and my intro is over. And Anne, if you want to introduce yourself and let people know who you are, where you sit, and how long you've been with SAP, and then we
hmm
can start just going to the guided experience of going through the SAP community.
Yes. Thank you, Josh. I'll continue the babbling. So my name is Anne. Some of you might know me already. Been with SAP for 4.5 years now. I live in Oslo in Norway. Before I joined SAP, I was working as a consultant for many years, and I've been around in the community since 2005, 6. I think my first tech ed was Amsterdam in 2006 or 7 or something. So been around for a while. um, so what I wanted to talk about today is a change that went live earlier this week. It's a pilot that we're trying based on feedback we have received from pretty much everyone since actually going all the way back to the platform migration last year, where I think the one of the main or loudest feedbacks we received is the question, where is ABAP? So part of the reason for launching these, I'll show it afterwards. It's a new developer area in the community with forums where you can ask questions, and there is also boards where you can publish blog posts. We've made this developer area to make it easier for you to know both where to find the content you're looking for, but also where to publish your questions, or even if you want to answer questions, to find like the answers that are most relevant for you and your expertise, and also to find, for instance, important product announcements on your topics, or even publish or share your own knowledge.
So let's pause
Um,
there for a second. One
mhm,
housekeeping item, if you need to ask a question, put it into the chat in the YouTube window, and I'll try and monitor that for Ann, and I'll just ping her when there are questions. If not, we'll answer them at the end if there are any. And you can ask
mhm.
them actually after the broadcast. If you're watching a replay, you can throw those in the chat as well, and we'll see that pop up. Somebody from social media might tag us and say, hey, there's a question pending. Also, you can go to the community and you can ask a question. And this is what Ann's kind of getting at. Some people are new, right? They're joining Devtoberfest. They've heard about this and they're new viewers to our YouTube channel. And we have two YouTube channels, by the way. This is the developers channel. We also have the community channel. So we have two channels. And on this Devtoberfest broadcast, if you ask a question, somebody will see it. And if somebody's new, they might not know the difference between what a forum is and a Q&A. Can you kind of
No,
dig into that before you show it? Because
I'll
there's still the lingering Q&A, right?
yes, we still have the Q&As. So Q&As and forums is basically the same thing. You ask a question and someone will answer your questions. However, how you reply to questions are different between a Q&A and a forum. So in a Q&A, there is a question and there is an answer, but then there is also a different answer to a question, which is a comment. So on a Q&A board, you would use a comment if you need to ask for clarifications on the question from the author, right? So if the author has asked something and you're not quite clear on what exactly it is they're asking for, you would use the comments to ask for that clarification. Only if you know the answer would you answer the question. The problem that the feedback that we've received with the current Q&A boards is that one, the comment section, if a correct answer is published as a comment, we cannot move that comment to an answer and that way accept the answer as the correct solution. Right? So sometimes we'll have questions where there is a correct answer, but it's in a comment. So we can't accept it as a solution, right? So that means the person who answered won't get credit for the answer, and the person who asked the question will also not be able to sort of tell everyone else who comes after to ask the same question that this was actually the right answer to my question, right?
Okay, so that was very much a great description of just how much of a labyrinth that our
Yes,
infrastructure can make it to just do something as
yes,
simple as answering the question. So today we're going to
exactly.
address how to make that look cleaner. So everything that Ann
Cleaner.
just described, we're moving away from and into forums, which is kind of back to forums, which
Back
makes
to
it
forums,
easier.
yes. It's
The other, sorry
SDN
to cut you.
2008.
Yeah, checking. Yes. So in the Wayback Machine, you can see how this used to
Hmm.
work. The
Yes.
other thing that I would like to point out is that these are important human answers. This is a great time, I
Yes.
think, to bring up the fact that we are working on the right verbiage to tell people that we don't mind if you use Gen AI. And that is something that's important that we're all playing with and learning from. And SAP itself is using a lot of different parts of this and
Hmm.
providing solutions, but not leaning on it to copy and paste things that aren't adding value. We're humans, and I want it to be a community made of humans for
Hmm.
humans. And if the computers want to come along and scrape these answers, they're going to be scraping them from the forums. So let's make sure we're
Yes.
adding good human knowledge based on experiential learning, things you've done,
Hmm.
so that you're not just pasting something that you can't do a follow-up. If somebody comes to you and you post an answer, you need to be able to follow it up and back up why you said that was the answer.
Yes. And also, I would like to point out that ChatGPT is a few years behind us
Oh,
in
really? How
terms
come?
of because they're training the language model, right? And it's not trained on data all the way up to 2025. So we are also seeing examples of ChatGPT answers that are actually misleading or
Okay,
false.
misleading, out of date. And so
So
this is where we're putting guardrails on our usage of AI at SAP, and we're putting our models that we are training into BTP, and that way they're gated, protected, and they're giving you correct answers when you're doing
yes.
something within our system. So it's we don't have to go into a technical demo of that. We've got other sessions
Hmm.
about that this year, but it is an important point that we want you guys to help us be the system of record, the source of the truth, not the single source, because we know the internet's big. There's people out there on Reddit, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, other places, but this is the SAP community for a reason.
Yes.
Cool.
But
I
then to
thought I
get
wasn't
back
going to
to your
interrupt you and
first,
babble, but
no,
wow, I
I
really keep
know, but
interrupting you.
it's a good babbling session. But just to get back to the difference between the Q&A and the forums, just to answer
Hmm.
that. So the difference then between the Q&A and the forums is that in forums you will have, so basically it's the same thing. You ask a question, but how you reply to the questions is different. So in forums you have threaded replies. So there is no difference between a comment or an answer. So if someone responds to you, you'll have threaded replies in as many levels as needed, and the right solution can be found anywhere in that thread. So it doesn't matter in a forum, it doesn't matter if the reply comes like 7 level downs in a threaded reply, the
Hmm.
author can still accept that answer as the right solution.
And
So like I
Tammy
said,
raised
it's
the question. So Tammy Polis, one of our
mhm.
SAP mentors, has asked a question in chat, and she's wondering, is it a community engagement violation if I copy from Copilot or Joule?
Ooh, not a violation, but it's a good question.
I would
It's
say
a really
it
good
depends on what
question.
the answer is, right?
Exactly.
So it's more we saw someone pasting answers that are, have you tried this? Or did you attempt to do this? And pasting maybe a piece of code that they couldn't debug. They don't know if it
Hmm.
works. So
Hmm.
they're taking the answer from 2 years ago and pasting it into a response. And that's not the way to build a proper answer. So I wouldn't say it's a violation. It's just not the proper use of how we want the community to thrive.
No, you should still. We do still prefer that you build that into still sharing your own knowledge,
Hmm.
right? I mean, we can just from seeing the content, we can now tell if it's AI generated or not, right? So it's about also making it. It will probably never be completely not allowed to use AI in the community, but you need to be able to show us that whatever you used AI for to help generate, it's still sharing your knowledge. Like
Hmm.
if it's devoid of any, like I did, please try this, no screenshots, no, like if you cannot show that you have sort of validated the AI response, then no, that's a no-go.
Yeah, Peter
So
just
it's
said it's
about
for
being
humans, right?
authentic still. Yes.
He said copying and pasting from a chatbot makes 0 sense and users can
Yes.
go and do that themselves. And that's
Yes.
the whole point. Some people are doing it and we know this, right? I don't know if you know this about like Anne and myself. We kind of know what's going on a little bit and it's a gamification thing. It's an engagement thing and we
Yes.
love engagement on the community, but fake
Hmm.
engagement doesn't help anybody.
No, exactly. It's
Cool,
we're
but
like a community of people,
yep.
and authenticity, I think, is the word that will be
Yes.
predominantly communicated in
Wait, are we
2026.
people or are we just bobbleheads out here talking?
Yes.
I know you put
Bubbleheads
up with a
talking.
lot with me as a colleague. So, okay, so I heard you continue to answer that forums allow for threading,
Forums. Yes.
and
Yes,
then what does that
exactly.
mean again? Because I cut you off.
That means that no matter where in the threads or how long down in the conversation the correct answer appears, the author can accept that as a solution anywhere,
Okay, and
right?
you're going
So
to
it
show a
just
demo of that in
means,
a little bit.
yes, I'll do it in a little bit.
Okay,
Exactly.
and then
Yes.
what else are we going to try to navigate people through today that may be new to the community or have asked for updates of things? Like, can you just give a sneak peek so people don't turn off yet?
Of what we're going to talk about.
Is there other
Uh,
features you want to highlight?
we were mostly going to just walk through the developer forums, I think, to just
Okay.
show like how it works and
I
what's
want
new.
you to
If there
highlight
is
something special though. You've used the word developer a lot. Is there like a change that people may not have realized that went live up at the top navigation?
oh, the navigation. Yes, we've added developers in our top level navigation. Exactly.
I love
I
it.
keep
I knew
forgetting.
my own answer. I could have
Yes.
just checked the box and
Yes.
said I was.
You could
No,
have.
it's very important that we've realized that sometimes SAP is such a big company with so many different products, solutions, areas to go for either answers or to interact. And one of the things that was
Yes.
missing from the top navigation was the word developers, because a
Hmm.
ton of our community members from the SDN days all the way through now are made up of developers. The Software Developer Network, the SAP Community Network, it is majority of people that are looking for those
Hmm.
answers because they develop in their role. And while developing has changed and the tools that are being used has changed, the need to look at either, what did you say, ABAP Classic versus ABAP
Yes.
Cloud,
Cloud.
like there's older answers that we need to find in these places.
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
some people are
And
still using on-premise versus cloud, and they're doing their
mhm,
migration, they're doing their rise journeys and their grow journeys, and they're like, hey, I don't even understand what this means, and this is a great place for them to go and research and look at that.
exactly. And like I said, the feedback we got was just that from our technical or developer audience that it was a little bit difficult to sort of navigate the new structure in the community. So this is just to give our technical audience a home again in the community structure, right? Because there is very little confusion. If you need to ask a question about financial management, it's easy to find where to go. There is the products and there is financial management. But like I said, if you had a question, for instance, on CAPI, well, maybe it wasn't quite sure where in the community that question would belong, right? We had
Mhm.
the broad technology bucket, that some use. But again, for some of our developers, like even if you want to answer a question, the technology bucket was very broad because you don't really have time to maybe scroll through all the different topics that were in that bucket, right? So this is also just to
Hmm.
try to make it easier for people if they have like half an hour here and there to go to their sort of bucket of expertise and scroll through any like unanswered questions easily.
Okay.
Um, and talking about that, that's actually one very important thing that we managed to then bring back to the forums is that you can now filter for unanswered questions, which we did not we do not have that opportunity in the Q&A board. So you can filter on questions with no accepted solution.
Okay.
But in the forums, you can find easily just click on a tab and you'll see all questions with no answers. So yes. The second reason for doing this is also because we noticed, and this is in the application development and automation group, where I know probably many of you already are members. We had a discussion board there. A discussion board was basically meant to have discussions. So on in that group, in all the interest groups, the whole idea there is to have a conversation around a topic of interest, right? So in those groups, they were never meant to be forums. And we saw that, for instance, in the application development group, the discussion board was used as a Q&A board.
Mm.
The problem with that then was that there were lots of community members in there and they were responding and there were answers given. But because it was a discussion board, there was no way for the author of the question to mark anything as a solution, which meant that everyone who took the time to answer questions in that group, we could not highlight them for the work that they did, basically because it was a discussion board. It wasn't a forum, it wasn't a Q&A.
Okay.
So also just so when the pilot runs, the application development group has now been set to read only, just so you know. And that
Oh,
is
wait, you
because,
said something pilot.
mhm.
I think I
Yeah, oh
pointed
yes,
that on the
pilot.
community voice. I pointed it out that
Yes.
we mentioned that in the newsletter, but what does that mean for the users that are seeing this new area?
It, we are trying this out because we do not know if this is the answer that you're looking for. So we're basically, in terms of opening this up, this is what we're sort of wanting to try with you. It runs until the end of the year. If you're saying we do not like this, we'll just undo everything. We'll move the content back to the buckets where it should go, and we'll reopen the application development group. So,
Okay.
and that, so there are two things we need to test. Like, first of all, if you like the forum way of responding to questions, right? That's one thing. If we can get sort of, do we like the threaded replies way of doing it? And then like I said, the second part is just to make it easier for people to both know where to publish their content and find the content that they're looking for, right? But like I said, in the application development group, the other problem, or not problem, but the other thing we were seeing, like I said, is just that the discussion board was used as a Q&A, and we had no way we don't have a leaderboard there because it wasn't a forum or a Q&A
Hmm.
board, it was a discussion board. So by having these new forums, one of the things that we're working on is that we'll bring back our topic experts, right? So now, because we have very specific forums, we can bring back sort of the ABAP hero of the month for whoever answers most ABAP related question, or CAP or UI5 or whatever the topic is, right? Now we have the opportunity to really highlight and celebrate our community members for their area of expertise, right? So that's also one of the reasons behind this. I don't know, maybe I should go and show a little
Yeah, for sure.
instead of just talking. So I'll just share
No, it's
my
good. People are
screen.
using their imagination and they're imagining it looking completely different, I'm sure, than what you're going to show. So then they're going to be either really excited or really disappointed.
Disappointed.
So, no, but it's look, we know that the platform itself can be tough for some and navigating it's a
Yes.
little different and weird. We're trying our best and we're using a tool that we can control versus the internet itself, where a question could be asked in a way that is not helpful and it
Yes.
doesn't point people in the right direction, or an answer could be given that we can't be out there policing it. And here we can kind of help police a little bit. Not that we're trying to shut you down. We just do have
Mhm.
more guardrails here because this is our source of the truth.
Yes. So now my question is if anyone can see my screen, because I don't
Yes.
think I, okay, good.
I see developers at the top. You want to start at the
Yes.
top with the navigation menu?
Yes. So now we have developers right at the top where we have the new forums slash groups. So they are groups with forums. So we split ABAP in two, ABAP Classic and ABAP Cloud. We have the artificial intelligence, which covers everything and anything AI. I would like to point out that none of these groups are sort of tied to SAP products. We try to make the buckets as broad as possible for, except for ABAP, because ABAP is such a broad topic in itself. Uh, but other than that, we try to sort of create like the broader bucket so that in case we change our product name in 2 years, the group can still stay. So AI is basically everything and anything AI. A Joule, for instance, would go in here, but not necessarily only Joule, right? You can also ask general AI questions or publish blog posts on AI in general, right? It doesn't, like I said, nothing here is tied to, we're trying to untie it a little from like SAP product naming. So even if you want to share content on AI in general, please do so. CAP is, of course, CAP. That's the Cloud Application Programming Model. Data and analytics, again, the same. This is not tied to one specific product. I can go into, I'll
So you
just
could see some BDC stuff. You could see DataSphere. It could,
exactly.
yep.
We have tried to, in the description of the groups, we have tried to sort of set expectations a little in terms of what content would go in there, but don't feel like restricted here. But it could be anything: BDC, Databricks, Datasphere, Analytics Cloud, BW, HANA Cloud, Master Data Governance, anything, data and analytics. Crystal Reports is also welcome here. We're not we're not guardians in that sense,
I
right?
started with SAP the same year that we bought Business Objects, who own Crystal Reports. So I know this
Yes,
very well.
exactly.
It's a popular topic still to this
It
day.
still is. I know, and that's why I'm saying like it's not supposed to be very like product tied to anything. Like anything data and analytics goes here.
So you're
So
saying I
same
wouldn't
with
find the reporting stuff in CAP. I wouldn't find Crystal Reports in CAP.
no, probably not. I
Exactly.
hope
So
I
there
hope not.
there is some method to this. So we're like,
Yes.
hey, rather than have our moderators chase you down or community members in the forum tell you you're in the wrong spot, we've tried to use common sense buckets.
Yes, exactly. Which is why we sort of lumped then front end to a broader like UI5. And then again, UI5 is of course Open UI5 and SAP UI5. It doesn't matter. And anything Fiori, right? It can be Fiori elements. Again, no restrictions. Whatever you feel belongs here goes here, right? Integration also here, broad topics, not tied to the business suite. Whatever integration questions, topics, anything you want to share goes in here. And tooling is of course also very broad. We made this like as a special topic because we by now have a lot of different tooling to work with, both as a developer and sort of technology expert. So it was just to let you know that this is like build. It can be ABAP for Eclipse. It could be like work zone, whatever it is you're working with and in, it would go here. I can just use one of the, I just wanted to talk a little bit about subscriptions and how you can subscribe to content here. this is what we call like like the overall category of developers. So here you can subscribe to all content published in all the groups and forums. You can also drill down and be like specific. So here is the ABAP classic group where you have a forum and a blog post. So here you can also subscribe. And then you're subscribing to content both for the forum and for the blog posts. You can also drill down to like the specific tiles. And here in the specific tiles or boards, here in the forum, you can then subscribe normal. Here I've already hit subscribe, so it's unsubscribe. But then you can also subscribe to the RSS feeds for these individual boards. So it's the same for the forum, and you'll have the same subscriptions here for the blog posts. So you will have sort of this subscription, and you'll have the RSS feed. The subscription here will send you either a notification in the system, like these notifications up here, or an email, and this is based on your account subscription settings. So that was just to explain that, and then I'll just go quickly and show you, because I talked about the new filter that we have, which has also been requested. So we now have no answers, which is all questions that literally have absolutely no answers. Oh, see.
Tammy was very excited for this. She commented in the chat.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. Yes, it has been requested. So we're happy that we could make this sort of happen in the forums. We
And then
kept the
Marion
nose.
pointed out, good morning, Marion, as well. He pointed out that he said sometimes having real names versus the username being something that's hard to understand or know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go back and forth on this because some people their handle is their social handle. Like we all know Q
Yes.
Macro, our colleague, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got
UGB.
Yojibi,
Yes.
Like these are brands that you built as your thing. Like I'm known
Yes.
more as Bluebeard now than Josh, which is freaking me out. But I
Mm-hmm.
kind of accidentally came into if I called myself Bluebeard out here, I would build a brand of that. So I'm not against it. I do think the anonymization kind of makes it hard to know who to follow up with and if they're a
Yes.
real person or not. So I kind of get the that point, but I do like seeing a good mix. Can people change their username here in the community
Yes, they can.
just anytime they want?
Anytime they want.
Okay, good.
Easy,
Sorry for
easy
interrupting you.
peasy.
I want
And
people to.
I do agree, but we've said this before. It's not because we for privacy laws reasons, we cannot force people to share their full legal name publicly anymore. So we
Okay.
cannot strictly enforce this in the community. So
Okay.
GDPR,
All right. Back to
you're allowed to be anonymous, or at
yes, we
least
can't
private.
force you. All right.
No, exactly.
So
Yes,
you are about to show something with unanswered questions, and I saw one come up in
yes.
the chat though saying where would this is from uh Vijayendra Rao. What about BTP admin related and BTP security related questions? Which forum should those go in?
Yes, that's a good question. We actually don't have a forum for BTP yet,
Okay.
but happy to do so if requested.
I think it
Question
just
mark?
was.
If it's requested, then we'll start
Well,
it.
who owns these? Do we own these forums as the community
No,
members that
they're
maintain it,
open.
or
No. So big difference from yes, good question. So big difference between these like groups and forums from like the other groups that we have lived in here, the interest groups. So the groups under here, they're what we call curated groups. So these are groups on very specific topics, and they're curated by a group of owners or group curators, right? So that means like every blog post you want to publish in these groups, they need to go through not a moderation review, but a curation review. So there would need to be a curator to look at your post to see, would this post belong in this group, right? In these developer groups forums, it's open. So we don't, of course, we moderate them and we do look in them every day, But if you have publishing rights generally in the community, you can publish questions here from the minute you join the community, and you can publish blog posts without review as soon as you reach the rank, which is, I forgot, associate, I think. As soon as you get the publishing right, generally in the community, you will also have publishing rights here. So it's more aligned with what you're sort of used to from the products and technology categories
Okay,
from
then I
before.
would
We've,
augment your answer about where to publish BTP with the fact that business technology platform is not just a runtime. It is full of so many different features
yes.
and things you can do. So we've got people that are using Cloud Foundry, people that are using Kima with Kubernetes and doing some things there. Then you got the RAP developers that are doing things with the ABAP
Mm,
Cloud. We've got integrations that are tying in. We've got AI. So all the subjects that you've got listed out kind of sit on top of BTP anyway.
hmm.
So if you're asking a generic BTP question, maybe we need a forum. But if it's, hey, how do I do this with integrations? Well, we've already got a place there, I believe, if you go to the drop-down menu to show that
Yes.
there is a place to talk about
Integration.
integrations, which are probably going
Yes.
to be running on BTP. So it might be a
Yes.
POPI question, and that would then tie into migrating it to
Hmm.
BTP. So if it's a
Yeah.
classic PIPO question, that might not, jump out at you as a BTP thing because you don't use BTP, but it would still fit into integrations.
Yes. And we
Okay.
are trying to not tie this too much to like product naming, but
Hmm.
have it more generic. So yes, there could be, maybe there's a forum for, I don't know, security admin in general then. But um, I would try to not think like too much SAP products, and instead like what's the topic you need help on. But
Yep.
we're happy to discuss this. I mean,
Yeah.
we're here. I'm saying we're
How do
here.
people contact us if
Yeah, I
they
was
don't know how
going
to
to
get a hold of
say, like,
us?
you can reach us in this group. We're here. We are the community corner group, so we're always here. So if you need to reach us, you can go into the discussions here. Many people already do. So please just feel free to start a discussion with us here. Marianne is busy and Fabio, but please, whenever, or send us an email at community@sap.com. Um, I'd be happy to spin up more forums and groups if needed. We just needed to start somewhere. And this is where we started. But like I said, maybe not BTP because that's for me more like a product thing. But if there is a forum missing for admin and security topics, then yes, we'd be happy to accommodate that too.
Okay.
Yes. We've also moved the developer news here, so everything and anything from the developer advocates will go in here as well. So the developer news are published here. Um, I do want to like to point out, because this has been a question some have asked, uh, content published in the community wherever it's published is always tagged with the SAP managed tags, right? So that will of course remain. We're not changing the SAP managed tags, right? So ABAP questions can still be published in the technology area, of course, and over here. It can still go into the technology bucket and you'll still be able to find it. So let me just go in here. So if you go to the SAP managed tags and you go to ABAP development, you will still be able to find all ABAP related questions or content. You can filter on content type here. But no matter where it is published in the community, you will of course always find the overview here, and this you can also subscribe to, right? Um, just so that's clear. It, you will still, your content will still be discoverable through the SAP managed tags. That will not change in the forums. It works the same way. We do require tags on content here as well. What else? Any other questions in the chat?
I was just
No?
posting how to get in touch with us, and then I saw
Yes.
some a thank you to you and I, which is not necessary,
Oh,
but much appreciated.
thank you.
Um, yeah, look, we're listening. We're trying our
Yes,
best.
we're
It's
trying.
just we're hugging a bear here that we didn't have anything to feed it, so we need you guys to feed it with more answers. Um, Nil says definitely topics work better than providing all solutions as a different forum. So yeah, there's
Hmm.
I like to say that the topics themselves and the topic pages, which are actually on that menu all the way to the right, they're more static and they're informational
Yes.
and not as tied into either conversations or Q&A or solution-based discussions. They're more a snapshot in time almost. Whereas if you're going to post a really nice blog post about something you as a community member did, it's not really something for a topic page, and it might not be something that you want to go in and post in Q&A. If you've got a really
Hmm.
good blog post that you want to publish, that would be something that you would be able to do in the other dedicated areas, not the topic pages or in the Q&A.
Yes. The topic pages are curated by SAP static web pages. So
Hmm.
there is no questions as such or content published on those pages that would be here. One more thing though, because we did receive some questions around it, the artificial intelligence, the data analytics and integration groups were moved from the interest groups areas, which is why there's already content in them. The other groups we decided to start as empty groups because moving content for us is a manual activity and it's quite labor intensive. We have, though, received the feedback that you would like to see some more content in the groups. So we're looking at not moving, especially for ABAP, just because there is so much content. We're not moving all ABAP content over here, but we'll move. And of course, we have to work with the authors of the content because we can't just move content freely. So we'll work with some of our colleagues and ask if we can move some of their content in here. If you have content that you would like to have moved, then please reach out to us in the community inbox and we'll move it for you.
All
Yes.
right. Wonderful.
Hmm.
So, of course, we scheduled this for an hour. We're at like 37 minutes past the hour now. We can keep going. If you got more to show, though, I mean, we still have, it looks like 782 watchers. Just kidding. There are some, there are a few people watching that we appreciate. We got I think right now we're at like 18 to 20, which is awesome. So thank you for joining us
Yes.
either the middle of your day in Europe, the beginning of your day in America, or wherever you are around the world. Um,
And day off in
speaking,
Germany, right?
yeah, a day off, a holiday in
Hmm.
Germany. And so,
Hmm.
hey, let's just do a quick commercial. I'm going to be at SAP Tech Ed November 4th in Berlin
Yeah.
and super, super excited to be there with my colleague Anne and several other people. We have the Community Clubhouse, which is a place that is it literally is what you're looking at on the screen right now. It is all of these things in person.
Hmm.
Now, we don't have a box labeled ABAP Cloud and a box labeled SAP CAP and a booth to stand at about those things. We have Meet the Expert tables. So if you are at SAP Tech Ed and you want to let me or Ann or anybody else know when you're there, just say, hey, Tuesday's packed, but Wednesday I've got a few hours and I'd love to just chat about integrations. Tell
Hmm.
us and we'll mark your name down and you can come sit at the Meet the Expert section. There's a lounge in the community clubhouse. And we'll just say, hey, right over there, that is an expert on integrations who wants to speak with you. So you can just come by and hang. We want that to be the feeling. We know there are product teams and booths and dedicated demos all over the several halls in Berlin. So, and I'm sorry for the people that are going to be virtual only. Yes, this is something the community clubhouse will not be digital. So you need to be in person to do all these things I'm talking about. And it's really cool that we're going to have a community theater. We've got about 34-ish talks. We're going to have demo jam as well in the community theater. It's just a really great experience to be back on site in Europe for the first time since 2019.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's time has been
exactly.
really wacky. When you start to really do in your head all the different tech kits we've done, and the fact that we're doing Devtoberfest now for I believe the sixth year because this started
Hmm.
post-COVID. In
I know.
2020, we didn't have Devtoberfest, as a thing we knew we were going to do. It kind of was just sprung out of the fact that we needed to build up some kind of excitement leading to Tech Ed in the October timeframe. How can we
Hmm.
do that as a team that talks about code? And that's where Devtoberfest started. It's really for the community to talk about all the great things we're going to be doing at Tech Ed, and it turned into
Hmm.
a great presentation mechanism. But again, very excited for Tech Ed Virtual. There's also going to be
Yeah.
at the same time, November 4th through 6th, ASUG in America in Louisville, Kentucky. They're doing Tech Connect, one of the Tech Ed on tour stops. So make sure that if you're in America and you can't get to Berlin and you don't want to just watch virtual, you can go down to Louisville. And then once we're done in Berlin, we're getting on an airplane, a few of us, Anne and myself included, going down to Sydney for the Tech Ed on Tour stop there. Mastering SAP is hosting that one. Then we got a
Hmm.
little bit of a tiny break. We'll do some code jams down in the Asia Pacific market. And once we're done with the meetups and code jams down there, and if you want us, please ping us and let us know that we should stop by because we've got our itinerary almost locked in for the week in between Mastering SAP and Tech Ed in Bangalore. So that
Hmm.
Tech Ed on Tour stop in Bangalore is starting to really fill up and get a lot of energy and activity. So
Yeah.
a very busy November. All of this Devtoberfest stuff is, of course, available to watch live or on replays as you get ready for November when you're going to be watching Tech Ed itself. So
Yes.
that's the end of my
And
commercial.
come find us because in doing more of this, trying things, right, and getting your feedback, we will also bring there will be a few things where I'll bring a few questions with me where I would like some
Mhm.
feedback and input on all the three tech ed stops. So in terms of also influencing the future of the SAP community, please come find us so we can get your early input and feedback on sort of future development or future direction of the community platform. Not the
Yeah.
community because we will stay. Yes, the
There might be a little bit of
Casimir.
Casimir there, and
Exactly.
also it's I'm going out there like the end of this month, and John Astle on our team made some Casimir 3D printed ghost cats.
That's
So
awesome.
these were handed out at the SAP Inside Track that happened
It's
in
our
Newtown
track.
Square. So yes.
It's
Look,
fantastic.
lots of fun. That's the thing that we like to have fun. So we're not just there to
Yes.
present you a technical solution and shake your hand and say you should use this SAP product. We're listening to you, and it's a two-way conversation. We advocate for you, our community members, back to the product owners, back to executive management, mentors, champions, everybody at any level of the SAP community. Your voice is being heard. And then the other people in SAP love it when we give them this raw feedback. So Anne's going to ask those questions she mentioned, collect some feedback on site with sticky notes, whiteboard, and marker. It's not just about showing you a presentation and saying goodbye to you. It's a two-way conversation.
Yes. That's what we're trying to do now. Have it
Hmm.
more of an ongoing conversation and, like I said, continuous feedback,
Yes.
right? So, and not taking everything so seriously, right? We'll try something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's fine. Then we'll try something else.
As long as the
Be
feedback is kind and constructive,
Yes.
there's a sense that sometimes people know better than the rest of us. We do know what's going on a lot of times. We just have to phrase it a certain way because we are representatives and employees of SAP. Those in the community, though, if you want any coaching or guidance on how to ask questions or frame things before you put it out there to the community, happy to give you some advice. We know some
Hmm.
stuff in the background that might make it easier for you before you post it. Because once you put it out there, the phrases I like to use is the toothpaste is out of the the tube, or
Tube.
the aerosol is out of the can. Then you cannot put it back in. So I would just say we're here for you if you want to ping something off of us first. I put those two ways to contact us, either in the coffee chats or directly via an email, one of our moderators, which also the moderators work very hard. We fall
Yes.
victim to spam attacks. We have a lot of people who know how to get in touch with us that don't have the same great initiatives that the people watching this YouTube stream have, which is to gain knowledge and service their customers and themselves.
Hmm. Yes, we're here.
Exactly. All right. I
Exactly.
probably distracted you
Yes.
so far that you don't even remember what you were talking about.
No, but I did remember that I forgot to say one important thing
Go
about
ahead.
the developer groups because I think I shared only one part of my, yeah, so I won't reshare. But if you're, so I've already joined all of this group, but if you're new, just so you know, there will be a join before you can publish content here. You need to join the group. So when you're new, there will be like a join, what does it say? Join a group, join this group. I can't remember what the
Hmm.
button says anymore, but there will be a big blue button underneath here, underneath the search bar. So you need to
Yep.
join first.
I'm sorry to tell you, Anne, we have to behave now and we have to use the proper phrasing of everything we do, proper English.
Yes.
I don't know if you know why, but someone has joined the chat. I just saw his name pop up.
Oh,
So DJ Adams Q Macro
DJ.
is with us. Good
Yes.
morning,
Oh
DJ.
my. Good morning.
Um, and good to see you there as well, DJ. And right before that, we had another question. Do you think the usage of community forums will reduce as more and more people use Joule and other Gen AI tools?
We don't know.
It's
We'll
up
have
to
to
you, the humans,
see. It's up to
honestly.
you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that again, I go back to that. If we're going to be the source of the truth and we're going to keep this a forum for humans by humans,
Hmm.
there's no problem using technology to augment your experiential learning and what you know. But
Hmm.
if people go use those tools and they don't get the right answer, they're going to probably still go back to those tools because they're convenient and available. And they're going to wonder
Yes.
why they got the wrong answer and not know where to go to get help. And so we've got help at SAP, we've got me for SAP, we've got tons of places. YouTube, you can go out there, and Tom Young likes to say, hey, if I want to learn how to fix my dishwasher, I can
Hmm.
go watch a video on it, and that's where our tech bites are for developers. So
Yep.
DJ might put something out there about how to use CAP. So I think DJ doing a video on CAP is a little more instructive and qualified than just
Hmm.
asking a question of something that's AI generated. But maybe the AI tools start to scrape DJ and we get an AI version of him. And I can't imagine what it would be like to watch an AI version of DJ talk to DJ and have them
Uh,
go back and forth. Sorry, he loves me and
yeah,
I love him, and I'm going to pick on him now that I know he's here. But
exactly.
yes.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. And again, I think even in the world of AI, we would still need some human effort to verify that what the AIs are responding with is actually the correct solution too, right? Because
Hmm.
that, uh, from what we're seeing in the community so far, AI is very often incorrect.
Hmm.
So we're
Or
we're
it
not
also, I
quite there
mean,
yet,
Nora taught me
right?
this, that it's the hallucinations aren't just what it's doing. It's you teach it how you want it to talk to you. So it's trying to
Mhm,
please you, but it's also giving you what it's doing the vectoring and think it's giving you an answer because it wants to
mhm.
please you.
Yes,
I turned
exactly.
mine, this is going to be a big shocker to all of you out there. I turned my Gen AIs to talk to me in a more sarcastic tone. So I enjoy that. You can have it talk to you in different ways when you're using this tool. You know, when you're using Joule itself, you can say, talk to me, you know, like I'm a pirate. You can say, talk to me very sarcastically. Uh, Tom Young did a demo the other day at the SIT in Newtown Square, and he said, talk to me like I'm a politician. And I'm not going to say out loud because this is being recorded what it was like when a politician started answering questions in Joule. But
Mhm.
that's what's great is that you can manipulate it, right?
Yes,
You can make it what you
absolutely.
want it to be, but then
Hmm.
sharing that with other people in the general audience might not be the best thing because they're not getting the true answer they need. Because in the end of the
No.
day, these are technical questions for a reason. The software is complex as it should be, and it's powerful.
Mhm.
If it was
Yes,
super, super simple that Gen AI could do it all, then we wouldn't have our software. We would just be going to Gen AI and say, make me a program. And
exactly.
we're getting there, but we're not quite there yet.
No. So
Thank
yes,
goodness.
humans will still be needed
I
for
hope
sure.
so.
I
For
think
more
so.
than just
Yes.
battery power,
I hope
right?
exactly. Exactly. Yes.
All righty. We are at 7:48 my time, so
Hmm.
about 13:48 for you. So I'm going to pause here and ask a question of those in the chat that are still there. Do you think the average cumulus cloud, because I saw about cloud there, and I heard this the other day at a trivia competition, the average cumulus cloud, do you think it weighs more or less than 400,000 kilos? Anybody in chat want to answer that? How's that for not expecting a
Good way
trivia
to
question? Let's see if one pops up
go
here if
into
anybody
the
tries to
weekend.
answer it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, so if there's anybody in chat that
Mhm.
wants to answer that, feel free to go really quickly. And what do you think? Does a cloud weigh more or less than 400,000 kilos?
How big is it, right? How big
The
is the
average cumulus cloud?
the average less?
Isn't it crazy to think that it's a cloud, right? It's floating, but
Yes.
more,
It's
500,000
water, right?
kilos. Yeah, but it's the cubic weight of the water when you measure
Yes,
it. Yeah,
it's
so these
more
clouds up above us weigh millions and millions
more
of, pounds and hundreds of thousands of kilos. It's crazy.
crazy.
So
Yes.
I have zero problem babbling, but if you'd like to wrap it up and give us any last final notes, we can close the call.
Yes, we can do that. Please visit the developer forums. Let's try it out. And give us feedback on the, like I said, the forum, the threaded replies, if it's yay or nay, if we should continue, because that is really one of the most important things that we need to test with this, right? It could be that you find it super annoying, right? But we don't know. We don't have the answers to everything all the way. So this is like something we're encouraging you to please try and test and also give us the feedback if you like it or not. And I would say this is just a first step. We're here. We're listening. We're trying things. Like again, I said, if it doesn't work, we'll just undo it and try something else. We're here and we're listening, right? So
Yep, and I've not
community of
been
people.
on a high-speed train in Japan, but this is what it feels like now with these topics around us. It's everything's moving fast. We're trying our
Hmm.
best to understand the destination that we're going to reach. So we got on this train and we're kind of like figuring it out as we go. But all the people around us on the train are you, our community members. We all know each other. We all love each other. And I hope so. And we just want to do what's best for you, the SAP community, the technologists at large that are new to this, learning this, those that want to just be here and enjoy what it used to be and what it can be. So I'm not sure where all the stuff's going with AI, and I don't know where a product line is going to be next year, but I know this is being recorded, but I probably think we're going to change the name of one or two products next year. It's just going to happen. So.
Yes.
But that's the good thing about SAP. We're always learning and we're always getting to experience change here and growth. So that's it from me. And if you want to wrap it up and say goodbye,
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Thank you for babbling or listening to this for almost an hour. It was great. And I really, like I said, I really hope that you will like this. And like I said, for our developer audience, for you guys, that you find your homes again in the community. Um, and I hope I see many of you in November at
same here
in Berlin or Sydney or Bangalore. Looking forward to it.
or virtually online. Can't wait to
Or
see you.
virtually even. Yes,
Yes. So please, please, please
exactly.
engage online with us, like our videos, reshare
Hmm.
them, comment. We are watching and we're doing it all for you. So thank you so much. And we will say
Enjoy the
goodbye
rest
now.
of the Oktoberfest too.
Yes. Okay.
Not
Good luck
least.
getting to
Have
Nirvana.
fun. Good luck. Yes, exactly.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.